Sunshine Sterling. Willie Rain Cloud. It's time for 3 Up, 3 Down. This is the Sports Source.
All right, 3 Up, 3 Down. We'll get to who's up and who's down in a second. Games and Things brings you this segment: bars, bar stools, pub tables, poker tables and chairs, home theater seating. Yes, that no one has more entertainment options for your home than Games and Things. But they also have great prices on their astounding selection of actual home furnishings. Bars, bar stools, pub tables, poker tables, chairs, home theater seating. They got it all. Games and Things. Check them out at ourgameroom.com or drop by and see them this week. All right, back with Willie Rain Cloud, Sunshine Sterling, and Daniel Hood is kind of he's the wild card in this segment. He can throw in the positives or the negatives. 3 Up, 3 Down. Let's start with the downs this week. Will Overstreet, who is your number one down?
Well, the drought is over, John. It's been a while. They had an 8-game winning streak, so we haven't had a lot of rain. But today, this game.
Well, and you got a little sunny on the radio.
Yeah, I did.
Friday.
I got sunny. I was even believing it. We have several downs this week, but obviously you have to start off with guys on the offense. So I'm going to start off with Garantano. Obviously, had a couple great passes in the first half. Second half, you gave the game away. I mean, the reason you were in that game was because you had turnovers. You won that in the first half. Second half, you lost it.
All right, Garantano, the number one down. Number one up, and I know it was hard coming up with the ups.
It was hard. So number one, or do I say first?
No, whichever.
Let's go first. Let's go to our priceless punter, Paxton. He had a way of flipping the field, and I'm glad he came and do the deal between the hedges. Our punter, Paxton, definitely had an up game in Georgia.
Boy, you know it's a bad day when the punter is number one.
When the good day is the snapper's bad,
Yeah.
you know, it's hard to pick stuff out. When the punter's on that one, it's on the Rain Cloud
Hey,
side.
man, the man came to play. He's an important part of
It
the
was a
team.
cloudy day. All right, down number two.
Offensive line. I mean,
You could go with any of them. Give me a specific guy. Who?
yeah. Wanye Morris, just because you look at him, he got beat off the edge a couple of times. He jumped off sides, I think, at least twice. I mean, just like I said, you could look at that offensive line, and I could go Trey Smith. I don't think there's a single guy on that offensive line that I could say you had a good day or you held your own. You got whipped on just
First
about
play
every
of the
front.
game, Trey Smith goes to the second level, and the guy just runs right by it, untouched,
Yeah.
to stuff a run. You could have gone with anybody there. And I wonder about Wanye Morris. He's one of the guys that missed a lot of time in camp. Is he up to speed yet? But we'll see. But number two down was Wanye Morris. Number two up.
Number two up, I mean, my man Palmer out there catching that rock, brother. I mean, that one comeback and adjusting to the ball and scoring that first touchdown. My man, you got some things. Bring that to the game every week. The offense needs you. You played a great game at Georgia, made some big plays. Continue to do that. My man Palmer outside of receiver.
Okay, down number three.
DeAndre Johnson. I mean, that guy took away, for stupid, not very smart play. He got mentioned in the stupid section. That you lost so much for your team. You had to bring in a true freshman who's probably going to be good down the road, but he's not you. And there were plays that were not made because off the edge, while they had some rushing yards, where were they getting it? Off the edge. Well, a couple times, guess what? It was to the true freshman side where if you'd had the playmaker, it wouldn't have happened. So I thought he cost them. He cost them in a lot of ways. They had to blitz more to get pressure at times. So I thought he was a huge loss because even though the offense didn't perform, if that defense is able to get another 2 turnovers because a guy's pass rushing and coming up behind the quarterback, that could change the game, even winning with a bad offensive play. So I thought that was a big hurt to this team.
All right, who's up number three?
Up number three, To'o, baby. I mean, sometimes I watch this young man play. He looks like a guy that should be all pro in the NFL. I'm excited about the upside of this guy playing middle linebacker for University of Tennessee. I think he's going to be talked and likes names of Al Wilson, and Tyrone Hines, and those guys. So be ready for To'o to really unleash because he's up again this week.
So he's Henry To'o, baby.
To'o, baby. That's my
They just
man.
couldn't fit it on his jersey.
Are there any other ups or downs that we missed?
Yeah, I got Eric Gray, and to be honest, I don't know if he's an up or a down. The blitz pickups was obviously atrocious, but the thing that I don't understand is obviously he's a small guy, but are we allowing him to cut? Because I played with Torrin Poole, and Torrin Poole would fill that gap faster than anyone, take out their knees, and linebackers never came in that fast again. So what are we coaching that guy to do? Or is it technique? Or so is it on him or is it on the coach?
Let me ask, I'll throw out another positive here just for one play. Brandon Johnson got his head taken off. Literally, the helmet went flying and he held on the football. That was a good play. Let me ask you about To'o very quickly. We got an extra minute here.
Okay.
He has lost weight. He's faster. No question. 11 tackles yesterday, 2 tackles for loss. His speed is greater. Seems like more guys are bouncing off of him this year than last year. Let me go with my defenders here, Will and Daniel. Do you lose too much in giving up that weight, or do you gain so much with the speed that it's worth doing it? Or am I overstating this?
No, I think it's depending on what defense you're running. If you were running a Tampa 2 where the guy has to act like a safety every once in a while, then he's probably okay. But in this defense, when you need it up front in the running game, I think he's lost. I think 5 pounds more needs to be added back, just because you do see him bounce off a couple of times. And that wasn't just this week. Missouri, I saw that, and I saw that in the South Carolina game. So it's been a considerable thing. If he runs up against a running back that's the 220 range, he has a trouble taking him on head on and getting him down on the ground.
Yeah, I agree with Will. He's lost a lot of that power, but when you look at him having to make 11, 12 tackles, it's because other people aren't there. And so he's got to have the speed to get out there. And what we didn't mention in this is he missed at least 3, 4, 5 tackles that he was within, an arm's length of from where he even wasn't fast enough for that. But you're supposed to have someone else there on defense,
Yes.
but he's having to cover so many gaps right now that it's like, okay, we're going to sacrifice, instead of being able to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, we're going to give him a 2-yard run, give up that power, because we need him to make tackles on the outside because we can't do it right now.
Yeah, we're clearly picking nits with
Yeah.
his play. A scary thought is if anything happens to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? That is a scary
Because your
thought
other
for this
set of
defense.
linebackers are looking a very deep step off from him right now.
And speaking of step off, I want to add as an offensive guy, I think the speed is definitely a plus, John P., because the guy is everywhere. Even when he's missing a tackle, he's coming off a block.
Yeah.
And even if he wasn't as fast as he's gotten because he lost the weight, maybe he wouldn't even be in the picture to see that he may have missed it because he's covering for a guy that should have been there.
Yeah.
So he's playing outstanding football. And we are nitpicking. These are guys that understand a little more about defense than I do. But I know what I don't want to face as an offensive quarterback.
You don't want to see speed. Yeah.
Exactly.
You could see 5 to 8 more pounds on the guy that would tremendously help, and he would keep his speed, I think.
I apologize to our audio guy because I think I've been doing that. And to you at home who I just deafened by demonstrating. When we come back, what does yesterday's action around the SEC and in Athens do to Tennessee's outlook for the season? I don't think it's changed very much, personally. We'll see what the other guys say. We'll take a look around the SEC and toward Tennessee's next few games. Coming back on the Sports World.